Thank you very much for your time this evening. A dire situation developing on the border. What measures did government put in place to try and streamline the crossing process? We do understand the need for stringent COVID-19 protocols, but 2 people have lost their lives. What planning was put in place ahead of this event?
Well, maybe you need to understand the background of what caused the congestion, and it's not just the issue of COVID-19 only. Maybe I must start a little bit from the back, because this congestion is now happening for the second time, more or less for the same reason. You see, our arrangement with the truck drivers at Beitbridge is that when they leave Musina, the town of Musina, they don't drive straight to the border gate because it will be congested. There are several holding areas, which you can call them truck stops, where they drive in, park there, and do administration work. There's a lot of administration when you are carrying goods in a truck. There is customs, you need agents to clear you, and there are several agents. There is SARS on both sides of South Africa and Zimbabwe. So they do all that administrative work parked at the truck stop. But the truck drivers have got a tendency of, when something upsets them, they abandon that, they sit on the road to do administration there and say they are booking their chance of going through. And that's exactly what they've done when early on this year, when Lesotho went into, Botswana, not Lesotho. When Botswana called the state of emergency, they were demanding that all the truck drivers must test at the border and only enter Botswana after they got results, which took 3 days. Many of them diverted to Beitbridge. They were no longer using Botswana. When they arrived, the truck drivers did the same thing. They abandoned their holding areas, start doing administration on the road. I went there with my counterparts from Zimbabwe and the traffic police from Limpopo. We cleared that and traffic started flowing. Now, what caused the present problem is that on the 3rd of December, the Department of Health issued new directives whereby everybody who's passing there needed a COVID-19 test or a rapid antigen test at the border when they arrive there. And the truck drivers did not like that. And in protest, they decided to leave their holding areas, started doing administration on the road and occupying 2 lanes. And that's how the congestion happened. You can imagine, only if you are truck number 30 on the road and you have completed your administration, but truck number 29, 26, 27, up to truck number 1 are right in front of you, and they've not yet finished administration, but they've blocked you. You can't move left, you can't move right, you can't overtake, you just stay there. That causes congestion. Now the question will be, where were the traffic police? Traffic police went to do their work because it is festive season, people are dying on the roads, and they thought that the problem in Musina at Beitbridge has been resolved. Now we have to call them back this morning. And after calling them back, they pushed the truck drivers in the holding areas. There is now normality there. You can go and check. And there's free flow of traffic. And we think by tomorrow, the problem will have been resolved. But I've phoned the Minister of Health. We've agreed that that issue of rapid COVID-19 test for the truck drivers is not going to work. It will work for the other travelers, like pedestrians and private travelers, private cars, but not truck drivers. And we think then there will no longer be any problems.
Dr. Motsoaledi, just for clarification, when our reporter filed his report earlier this afternoon, the thinking at Beitbridge was that the congestion would take at least a week to clear. You're saying the situation has normalized, there is no more congestion. Am I understanding you correctly?
I am not there. My director for Port Health is there, and I was told, and it was confirmed by a reporter from Zimbabwe, that at least for the incoming trucks, there is free flow now. Ours, I think, all I'm saying is that, remember, during the day, 5 hours ago, there was just no movement at all. There was nothing. So I'm saying the movement has now started, and we think by tomorrow, the situation will have normalized. It definitely won't take weeks.
Is there the need to provide truck drivers, citizens travelling to and from both countries with ablution facilities, medical support, additional resources on the ground in the coming days to prevent a recurrence of the situation?
Well, we think they felt an acute shortage of ablution facilities because of the congestion, where they have to spend many hours there. If there's a free flow of traffic, many people won't really find a need. They won't find a dire need for a lack of ablution facilities. The ablution facilities that exist there will be able to cater them. The problem is when more and more people spend many hours there, then you need more and more ablution facilities. I don't think there will be that need if traffic starts flowing as we envisage. Now that the traffic police are back and the army and the subs have been helping, we think there will be free flow. We believe by tomorrow in the morning, things will have gone back to normal.
Is there sufficient enforcement of COVID-19 protocols? And I'm not talking about testing here. I'm talking specifically about mask wearing, about social distancing. We can only imagine the chaos at that border post earlier today and yesterday and the previous days, as hundreds and thousands of people in the same place with very little social distancing, very little access to running water for hand washing, that this has all the potential, all the markings to be a super spreader event. Are you talking to the Department of Health to try and see how these people can adequately be tracked and traced to see what the fallout could possibly be?
Well, I agree with you that it will be a super spreader event if it looks like a rally, but it really shouldn't. You are aware that right from the beginning of COVID-19, right at the borders, both countries, Zimbabwe and South Africa, and even all the other countries, they've got health people there who are sitting there with clean running water, with masks, with sanitizers, etc. But once you get a mass of people, it becomes difficult to control them. Even the issue of social distancing becomes impossible. So the fastest solution is to make sure that there is free flow. People don't congregate there for a long time. They go through and they are safe and they go past. And so what happened with the truck drivers that caused the congestion was very unfortunate. We believe once we deal with that, all the other things will fall into line, because we don't have to have a mass of people sitting there at the borders for a very long time.
I hear what you're saying, Dr. Motsoaledi, but unfortunately that crisis has already occurred. We already have a situation where for at least a day or two or three, people were congregated en masse, and if we don't try and control the fallout, we're going to sit with problems. What's the planning around that?
Well, look, I've just informed you that that happened because of the congestion, which was caused mainly by the truck drivers leaving the areas where they are doing administration. They are back to doing that administration. Usually, during this time of the year, we have got many people going to the borders. So we deploy more staff. I've just signed today to deploy more staff to all the border posts. And now the unfortunate thing again that happened this year, which we are unable to solve as Home Affairs only, is because there's a curfew. Usually this time of the year, we extend the working hours because people go to the borders up to very late works. We increase the working hours for 24 hours at a time now.
Dr. Motsoaledi, I want to try and refocus you to my question. I want specifically to try and find out, I hear what you're saying. No one is necessarily to blame for what happened. Perhaps the truck drivers, they could be taken at task. What I'm asking is, what planning is in place for the future where thousands of people could spread COVID-19 at a rapid pace, both in South Africa and in Zimbabwe? Are they going to be specifically tracked and traced? Have you spoken to the Department of Health?
Well, the issue of track and tracing is done by the Department of Health. I can't really talk for them. They are aware of the situation because the COVID-19 certificates are inspected by them. And if they start having a feeling that many people might have caught COVID-19 there. They will start their methods of track and tracing. It's not something that I can talk for because I don't actually know how they do it. But on our side, all I'm saying is at this time of the year, we change our operations to work for 24 hours. We increase staffing. Now, the issue of 24 hours is out because there is curfew. All that we can do is to increase staffing and talk to the Department of Health that truck drivers must be tested at their places of work maybe once a month. Nobody must stop them at the borders. They must not do the rapid antigen test at the borders because then that will cause congestion. That is all we can do.
Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us. That was Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, the Minister of Home Affairs.